the DNC's fundraising and voter registration is falling behind Republican efforts. New data shows young voters are finding the Democratic Party increasingly unfavorable. NEWSMAX correspondent Christina Thompson's live in New York City with the details. Christina, good morning.
Good morning to both of you. These numbers are coming in from an independent data firm called L2. It's something that the New York Times did a report on just a few days ago. But essentially, it's making very large waves in the Democrat Party. They are very concerned over this, especially as midterm elections are approaching. Now, the New York Times writing in their article, quote, of the 30 states that track voter registration by political party, Democrats lost ground to Republicans in every single state between the 2020 and 2024 elections, and oftentimes we saw this by large numbers. That four-year swing towards the Republicans adds up to 4.5 million new red voters. It's a deep political hole that could take years for the Democrats to climb out from. The shifts that we saw, the most significant shifts, happened in battleground states, especially during this last presidential election. So to go through a few of those, in North Carolina, Republicans erased about 95% of Democrats' registration advantage from the previous presidential election. Democrats went from holding 500,000 votes over Republicans to just 53,000. In Pennsylvania, 314,000 Democrats switched to the Republican Party since 2020. That is nearly double the 161,000 Republicans who switched to go Democrat. Here's Lauren Leader on Morning Joe trying to justify this mass exodus.
In states around the country, you saw this happening. And it's a combination of things. One is the Democratic registration advantage, which has eroded, a significant increase in the number of Americans across the country who are registering as independents or unaffiliated where they have that option.
So that is one reason. Some are registering as independent, but not all of them. In fact, fewer and fewer Americans are choosing to be Democrats. In fact, for the first time since 2018, more new voters nationwide chose to be Republican than Democrats last year. The Republican Party gaining 2.4 million new voter registrations, while the Democrats lost 2.1 in the 30 states that allow people to register to vote. Now, I have been down here on the streets speaking with younger voters. One of the things that one young voter actually told me is, yes, they were one of those people who left the Democratic Party and are now registered as an independent. However, they said several of their friends, more than 5 of their friends that they've seen here in New York City, actually left the Democratic Party to change and register to be Republican. They're saying a lot of this boils down to really social media at this point. Many Gen Z voters and younger are turning to podcasts. They're turning to influencers who they think are far more authentic than they see the older people of the Democratic Party being.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is NEWSMAX. It's real news for real people.